There are several different suturing techniques. Today I'm going to show you three. So the first one is the percutaneous stitch. This is a series of interrupted stitches. They each involve 2 punctures with the thread being tied to one side of the incision so that it doesn't halt the healing process. This is the most basic stitch. So here's the laceration, and we're going to be doing the percutaneous stitch. So you take your needle and you puncture through both sides of the incision, trying to keep them even on either side. Then you tie off the stitch using a surgeon's knot. So wrap it around the forceps and then pull the thread through. And you do this a couple times to secure the knot, which you then pull to the side of the incision. There's the vertical mattress stitch. This stitch leaves the incision open. It doesn't have any thread covering the actual incision. This stitch is also known as the far, far, near, near stitch. So here we're going to do the vertical mattress stitch. So we do the far stitch first, coming up in the middle. And then we go back through the middle and take our second far stitch. So we have 2 far stitches. Then we're going to turn the needle around and we're going to do our near stitches. So it's just going to be through both sides of the incision at once, like a percutaneous stitch. And this will form a loop on the other side of the incision. So you can see the loop there. And then you're just going to tie off the 2 ends with a surgeon's knot, the same as the other stitches. You do this suture for areas with high tension, like the elbows or the knees, because it gives more room for the wound to move. The third technique is the vertical figure 8. You would use this technique if you have 2 lacerations side by side and the island of tissue is too big to remove. So these lacerations are too close together to suture separately, but they're also too far apart to remove the island of tissue and have a good result. So basically, it's a lot like the vertical mattress stitch. You enter from one side of the incision into the island of tissue, and then you turn the suture or the needle around and enter from this side, coming back up into the island of tissue, and then you tie off the threads using the surgeon's knot and keeping it to the side as well. So you can see that these lacerations are pretty close together. So we're going to do the vertical figure 8 stitch. So we're just putting the needle from one side of an incision into the middle island of tissue. And then we're going to turn the needle around and bring it through the second incision and up into the island of tissue as well. This creates a figure 8 where you can tie off the one end from the middle island of tissue to the tail of the thread, which is still on the other side of the first suture.